Navigating today's real estate market can be tricky. Want to buy or sell a house, finance or insure a house, or stuck with a house and don't know what to do? Florida Talk Real Estate has been your local one-stop real estate shop since 2012. Get the advice you need from your local real estate pros. Here are your hosts, Jim DiPaola and Johnny C. live on Real Radio.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition. It's Florida Talk Real Estate. We have you, hopefully, for the next 2 hours of infotainment. Thanks for being there, especially right out the gates. 92.1, 101.7, we appreciate you. Maybe you're on your free download, your iHeartRadio app. Well, that's amazing. And also gives you the capability to be listening worldwide. It's pretty phenomenal. And we also live stream on a Saturday. Yeah, you might be there right now on Facebook, Florida Talk Real Estate on Facebook. Maybe on YouTube, Florida Talk Real Estate LLC, home of a ton of informational chunk videos and a live stream that cranks up just about this time on a Saturday morning. Thanks for being with us. Of course, if you're not there yet, you can always join. The cameras are set up for a reason, so you can check out the action, Florida Talk Real Estate style. It's 2 hours of infotainment, and you're always welcome to join. Toll free, 877-927-6969. If you have a question, a comment, a concern in the world of real estate, you want to get involved in the conversation at hand, want to bring something to the table, do it. First voice you'll hear, the melodious tones of our producer extraordinaire. There's my brother from another mother. What up, Jimothy?
Hello, and good morning, gentlemen. Happy Saturday. Glad to be here with you, Johnny. How are you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. Always good to see you on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Got the LA lid going.
Let's go.
Yeah. Baseball season coming up soon.
First preseason games were yesterday.
Oh, geez, really?
Yeah, I believe
That's
so.
all right. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Time just flies. It's amazing.
I try to stay as consistent as I can. And I think the LA lid kind of stays consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Matter of fact, I think you wear a Dodgers cap each week, if I'm not mistaken.
Almost.
Yeah, I like the black one, too.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. Johnny C., that's me, your old buddy, your old pal, your air traffic control. Let's get to important people. Like Mike Rauch, the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. What's up, my friend?
Nice. Important. Feeling good.
Good. I'm glad
Good
to hear
morning.
that.
Not only can they, so we're going live on Facebook, they can watch it back and they can check see what hat you're wearing.
They can.
Like you can watch this, you can rewatch us as many times as you want.
Pretty much.
Over and over.
I think you're probably going to see me either in the black LA lid, go Dodgers, or a black Kangol.
Yep.
That's probably the options in the studio.
Yep. It's funny. I see you almost every Saturday, and I probably, if you had asked me beforehand, I probably couldn't have answered like what type of hat you wear.
Nice.
I would have been guessing.
I don't know.
But I couldn't like picture it.
A gator hat?
Yeah. It's weird the things that the one's brain will retain and like just completely discard.
Yeah, it shows you how poor eyewitness account is, right?
Yeah. Oh, true.
Oh,
true.
man.
Especially mine.
Terrible.
Like, I think that happened. Sir, this was yesterday. You're like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
Eyewitness account is a little bit.
Oh, that drives my significant other crazy. Like, she's like, you don't remember? But she uses it too. Shout out to Tiff. She's up in New York.
Nice. How was her birthday?
Visiting family. Birthday was great. Birthday, Valentine's. Yeah. We had a nice time. Nice evening. What did I say, Jim? You called me out on that. You were like, you said you weren't doing anything. And then I see you like, you're dancing.
I said he was sucking face on the dance
which is
floor.
not true.
Wow.
But there you go, honey. We're famous.
Sucking face.
We're
I've
famous.
heard that term
I
in
know.
so long.
I never used that term in a very long time.
I love that. That is, for those that don't know what sucking face is, that is the throes of a passionate makeout session.
So I'm sure Tiffany is protesting right now because we weren't. We were dancing. It was a very romantic, moment.
I'm sticking to my story.
One of my few.
You were cheek to cheek. If you
we were just dancing. We're arm in arm.
All right, with your tongues?
No, we had a proper distance.
Their faces were buried
We
somewhere.
used the ruler. We had the 6-inch rule or something, whatever.
Yes,
rule.
She's up visiting.
Thank God most of the women.
Wait a second. There's kids listening right now.
Thank God most of the women in my life didn't have that rule.
Did you dump it?
They're getting like she sent me a text this morning. They're getting a blizzard warning for Sunday, the day that she's supposed to fly back.
Wow.
We're like, oh, okay, hon. Well, be ready to stay up there, I guess. But shout out to Tiff and the kids.
Yep, and she says, Remy says hi to Uncle Mike.
Oh, there we go. What's up,
She's
Remington?
on there. Yeah. What's Remington, the dog?
That's her sister's son.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, or one of them. Yeah, Remy.
Sorry.
Wow.
We'll just say file that under one of the things
Oh
you
my
just
God.
don't assume.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? The dog? No,
Yeah.
that's the favorite child. Of the
No,
family.
Remington's awesome. What's
That's
up,
like congratulating somebody about them being pregnant.
Exactly.
And
You
then
don't
they're
assume.
not.
Don't assume. I'm not pregnant. Oh,
That happened to me one time in
Oh,
my
you've done
life.
that too?
I actually have done
Wow.
that in real life.
Wow.
based
I
on what,
still remember it still stinks.
based on what you just stepped in, I'm not surprised.
Not surprised at all,
not
right?
Well,
at
the
all.
good thing is you haven't even introduced them, so nobody knows who's saying that.
Exactly.
Mike
Yeah.
said it. Mike
Let's-
said it.
Let's show you who's got the wet shoes right now, because that puddle has just stepped in. That's our fearless leader. 14 years, I've told you, he runs a top producing Keller Williams team. It's the Florida Home Pros team, Keller Williams Innovations. Jimmy D is what I like to call him. It's Jim DiPaola. Jimmy D, how you be?
Hey, I'm doing great. Really excited about what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking, the main things we're going to be talking about is that smart start that we talked a little bit about last week. Man, it's just blowing up. Now the opportunities are just galore. We got 3 or 4 people that are going to be using or offering the smart start $15,000 credit from the mortgage firm.
Love it.
Mhm.
I'm really surprised at the geographic areas that you're allowed to use this in. It's very surprising, happily surprising to me.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into all that a little bit later. And we're going to explain why one of our customers is called the Double Dipper now because of that
When
smart
we dip,
start
we dip.
situation. And I don't know if he'll have the 6-inch rule or not yet. I just don't know.
Oh, boy.
And then
Uh-oh.
and then he says that he doesn't really, I already told him that we're going to talk about this today about him, and he goes, I don't know if I like being called a double dipper. So
Oh,
He
you might
didn't
want
like
to come
that
up
too
with
much.
something a little more, like less, you can insinuate something. with
yes,
that one, right?
exactly.
So there is like almost a negative connotation to double dipping, right?
yeah,
well,
I
it's
guess
definitely-
he took it that way.
'Cause
It's
I don't know-
It's a social rule that you should be aware of.
Right. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's ever like presented where you're like, oh, nice job, double dip, right? It's
Yeah, I think so.
but I think sometimes it's just called being advantageous.
Well, like a real estate agent, right? Real estate agents sometimes can make the listing side and the buyer side in the commission. That's kind of called double dipping.
It'd be
Right.
advantageous.
Yeah,
right? I
that's
mean,
a
it's
good.
just-
So
just
double dipping in that case is a good idea.
sometimes
No,
the
but you
stars
could
align.
also easily say, like, no, that don't work with that guy. He double dips all the time. Doesn't
Yeah,
fit,
exactly.
right?
Yep. He's a double dipper.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I am a double dipper, and that's why I view it as the stars aligning.
Now, was it the same thing before the Seinfeld episode, or did it become like more?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't even know the Seinfeld episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh,
So-
wow.
Oh.
That's when George Costanza went to some function and he was eating chips in a dip.
He was
and
double dipping on the
double
chips.
he
Oh, well,
bought
that's-
the chip and then put it back in the
Yeah.
And who was the guy that was complaining about
It
it?
was one
a
of the,
famous
Wasn't
guy.
it Elaine's boyfriend? He was a dentist. Is it that one?
No, I think it was
that was
a
Breaking
young-
Bad guy too.
It was a family member, like of the function. Was
Yeah,
was he at? Was
But I felt like it was a famous person or something that played that character. I can't
you
remember
might be
who
right
it
about
was.
that.
Ooh,
I don't
Seinfeld
remember.
trivia 877
Oh,
yeah.
First
First
caller wins.
Yeah, who is?
But
Who knows?
you have to have the right answer.
My wife knows. She's probably not listening right now, though.
I should know it. I'm like a huge Seinfeld fan, and
She's seen them all like 10 times, every episode, like 10 times.
I have a friend that reminds me so much of
Kramer.
Seinfeld in general. Not so
Yeah.
much Kramer, but Curb Your Enthusiasm too. This guy thinks exactly like Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm,
That's awesome.
and he has no concept. The funniest part, he has no concept at all that he's like that.
He doesn't
He
realize
has
that
no
he's
idea,
identical.
and he's a huge Seinfeld fan, right? And Curb Your Enthusiasm, but he has no idea that that's him.
Huh.
In fact, his wife was having problems with him with this a long time ago, and she was really having problems with his personality. And I looked at her and I go, you know why I'm friends with him? It's like living in a Seinfeld show every time I hang out with him.
Because I always wanted to hang out with Larry David.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a Seinfeld episode every time I hang out with him. I go, I laugh so hard about what he gets all upset about. And she started thinking about it. She's like, yeah, I never
It's
thought
like
about it that
it's
way.
like you're watching the
That's
show.
funny.
Yeah,
right?
she's like, I'm living in Seinfeld. This is awesome.
That's great.
And
Serenity now.
yes, anyway, it's funny.
No
Yeah,
secret.
Serenity now. So Hello, everybody that's on Facebook and YouTube today. What we are going to be talking about in a little bit, because I know why a lot of people are here. They want to know about the property taxes. There was a big property tax bill that came out from the House, and they're going to be talking. We're going to be talking a little bit about that because everybody wants to know: are we going to eliminate property taxes in Florida? They're trying really hard. They haven't figured it out yet, but they're trying really hard.
And we've been talking about it for months and months.
Yeah. It's such a big topic.
I'm trying to remember like what my initial thoughts on it were and how that's evolved, as it's developed. I think initially I was like, yeah, they can't do that. Like it's not going to be possible. Too much money, too much revenue gone. But they're doing something.
Well, the House just passed something this week. I think it was 2 days ago where was it yesterday?
Yep.
Where they're trying to do it. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Florida and migration. Remember back during and after COVID, how everybody was moving to Florida?
It seemed like it.
And we were the number one in the country, which we traditionally have been number one in the country for where people are moving to.
Right.
Not so much anymore.
Oh.
And it's very interesting because people still have that stuck in their head because it's been like that for so long.
I can think of a couple places that might have passed us, but I don't think many.
7.
7.
Yes.
Wow.
So we're really down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
7
we're gonna
states.
Yes, or have more people coming into the state than leaving the state. And we're only number 8 right now. So we're going to talk about that and talk about some of the figures. Really interesting figures. So I thought that would be fun to talk about.
It is fun to talk about. But I guess sometimes it reaches a point where you're like, well, where are they going to go? You know what I mean?
Oh,
nobody's leaving.
They have answers about that too.
Oh,
yeah.
It's got to go up or down.
Right.
Yeah. We're also
build vertically.
Perfect. Yeah. Like in West Palm.
And we're also going to do some teachable moments about negotiating. We're going to do that in the shout outs. We had a couple of pretty tough negotiations, and sometimes it's just good to call somebody's bluff. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because this is the market where there's a lot of bluffing going on. I feel like I'm in a poker game sometimes with people, and we're going to share a little one that we just got under contract and how I had to go back and forth. And Mike was a big help with it because I got some advice from Mike about how to negotiate. And it was really good. Yep.
See that?
Hey,
I've learned so much from this show. I'm giving Jim the advice.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You're in a tough
I mean, I don't know.
negotiation.
I agree that I don't know if you're using my advice to give it back to me. I was calling you for your advice. And you did good. So we got the job
I want
done.
who's running my negotiations to use all their resources with
That's a good point.
Yeah. Jim's an awesome negotiator. That's fantastic.
Well, one of the guys, first-time home buyers, Josh and Lisa, they're very, very happy right now. So I'm really happy for them.
Good.
So let's get into the shout-outs just a little bit and talk about these. It's also a good teachable moment. Anybody thinking about buying or selling in today's market, this is some really good stuff to chew on to figure out like how this would affect me if I were, negotiating on a deal or thinking about buying right now. How is that going to affect me? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So I'm trying to pull up the right form here. Just hold on. It is going to be long, Johnny, so you don't have to do big long intro. I know he was ready.
I have enough time to let everybody know that there is an opportunity to reach out to a team of pros. So you just heard about Jim's in a negotiation, and he's utilizing his resources like a team member, Mike Rauch, the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm, to give him some information to supply a little ammunition on his side of the negotiation. You need a team. You get a team at FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Know it, use it, love it, share it. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
Thank you, Johnny. So the first shout out is going to go to Josh and Lisa. Mike called me a couple of weeks ago and said, I got a little bit of a tough one. They're on a very, very tight budget, but they really need to buy something because of their family situation changed.
Sounds kind of common.
It is very common, but they were on a very tight budget, under $200,000 to buy something, which in South Florida is very, very tough to do, especially when you don't have a lot of cash, because that blocks out all condos. Because condos, Mike, how much do you need for a condo usually for down payment? In most cases,
it depends.
Yeah, I know, but why did you do that to me?
No, because. Listen, if the condo
25%.
Here's the thing, like traditionally,
Can you just say that?
That's what we need.
Sorry, 25%.
I'm teasing you. Go
But
ahead.
it's not. There's much more nuance to the answer.
It is.
Jim.
You're right. But
the truth is, and more we're seeing it. I know people like, even there's a comment today like condos are tough in Florida, and they are tough as far as getting financing because the condo has to be approved You have to be approved as a buyer. The condo has to be approved. But good or bad, the changes that the state has, forced condo associations to do has put them in a position where many more of the buildings are qualifying with lower down payments.
That's
Which
So you
I
can
predicted,
still do it with 5% down.
which when I say the team predicted it about
it was just going to happen.
that was going to happen. That condos, there might be a condo boom of these older condos that fix their stuff,
right?
Because they're going to be more available for lower down payments. So that's going to be a really good thing for affordability here, especially Southeast Florida with all the condos here.
Right.
So it's just going to take a little time for that to happen. And as it's happening, people aren't going to realize it except people that listen to the show.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're going to see it in the newspapers and in the TV media and stuff. Hey, the condo market is, exploding again. And we're like, been there, done that. We've been helping our customers that for a long
Slow
time.
burn. Yeah, but I think to your initial point, so if you're in the lower price points, you might just naturally think condos. Okay, condos are going to be at the lower price point. But if you're low down payment, first time home buyer situation, and you can only do that low down payment, your options are going to be limited based on things completely out of your control, right? It's not about you as the borrower. It's about the project that you're buying in and that review. So
so Josh and Lisa, they because of their price point, they had to give something up. So what they gave up was location. So even though that Josh even though that Josh works in West Palm Beach, we're buying the property in Fort Pierce because it's affordable, but it's a great community. It was so funny. I think I mentioned this last week, but this is one of the first communities ever short sold a property in. When I was doing short sales back when the show first started. So
technically, if not for you, that community might not even exist.
Well,
right? Because it could have been demolished.
I saved the community.
If you didn't do that short sale, that was like the first domino.
I saved that whole community. They should be giving me residual checks.
They could name the street after you, right?
Well, the funny part is, I think I sold that unit back then. I think it was like $45,000 as a short sale, like this type of unit in that community. Almost all the units are the same over there. And this one is going in the 150s, right? So it tripled in price since 2012, 2013. The property's tripled in 10 years.
Yeah.
So 300% increase since 2012.
So what's his commute going to turn into? Like, I don't know, what's the average to Fort Pierce?
It's going to be every bit of 50 to 70 minutes every day because, I cover 6 counties. And
you've been driving that.
I kind of know how long it takes me to get to Fort Pierce versus Port St. Lucie versus Okeechobee versus Miami. Well, Miami, you can never know because I hate the traffic in Miami. So Miami, except for my customers, Miami is just a landmass to get me to the Keys. That's what I always say.
Wow.
And I love the food. I love the culture. I love all that, the entertainment, but I don't like the drive. But the drive, I don't like it. So it just drives me that crazy. I had to go down there for a life event recently. One of my friends' partners passed, and I went down there for this big event. He was like this street artist who was really cool. A couple hundred people showed up for this thing.
Nice.
And it took me 40 minutes to get from wherever I was driving to I hit Ives Dairy Road. And then I had to go 7 miles. And it took me 45 minutes to go like 50 miles. And then the last 7 took me an hour and 15 minutes. And I was like, really?
But you can get a lot of work done because your car drives itself.
Yeah,
right?
I have the kick car now.
Yeah. So you basically sit there, you like doing searches or setting up, looking for homes for people, right?
I do a little bit of that. Yeah, I do that now. I do that. And it's worked out pretty well. Yes, I do have one of those self-driving cars now. So it really helps me out a lot, and it keeps me safe on the road. It keeps me much safer.
Nice.
Now, getting back to let's get back to Joe and Lisa, Josh and Lisa. So what happened with them? We had to figure out where they were going to live. So we cast a really big net because we didn't know for affordability. We didn't know where they could land. Josh really wanted to move into his own home. He had been renting for a long time, and Lisa and him are turning into a family now. So we found the place up in Fort Pierce, and here's where the negotiation part. So it is a shout out that we did get them in contract, and we had the inspection. And this is what we found out. When I was looking at the property, I looked in the utility room, and right away I saw polybutylene pipes. this is the third time I've been dealing with polybutylene in the last 6 months, and I haven't dealt with, which is a plumbing issue, and I haven't dealt with polybutylene pipes in a couple of years until all of a sudden it's like polybutylene, polybutylene. So what does that mean? Polybutylene is very hard to insure or almost uninsurable because the fittings, it's a flexible pipe that they use from the 70s to the 90s, I think, is what they used it, early 90s. And instead of using copper and soldering it, and it's a lot harder to install in new construction, they were using this flexible, bendable pipe to make the plumbing lines a lot easier to do. But the fittings that they use to connect the pipes for splicing the pipes together, they would leach out chemicals, and the crimping system they would use to attach the pipes, it would fail at the splices. So insurance companies like, we don't want that stuff. It's too dangerous. We don't want it.
High risk for
high risk.
water cleaning.
Yeah.
So even though
Predictable
it's
failures.
approved for the building department, it's grandfathered in. And if you have polybutylene pipe, the building department isn't going to make you rip it out. But insurance companies like, yeah, not so much. I don't really want to use that.
Right.
So we knew it had poly. So before we even turned in the offer, because these kids are on such a tight budget, even the inspections, the hundreds of dollars spent for the inspection, that was taking money away from the money they needed to close.
Sure.
So I didn't want them to spend money on a house that they couldn't buy. So the first thing I did at the house, I call up Ross Camarinus from Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach, the only one.
The only ones, you know
And
it.
he'll be on the show next week. And I called up Ross. I'm like, hey, this house has poly. Are we going to be able to insure this house? And I don't know why he asked me this. We'll ask him next week. He said, what year is it? So I told him the year, and he goes, yeah, we can get it. So then we did the inspection 2 days ago. And the inspection showed that there was poly, no surprise there. But then it said it had an old electrical panel called Challenger, which at that age, Challenger is okay with the modern Challenger equipment. But this equipment that they put in the 80s to 90s, it might be 70s and 90s, Challenger, they don't like it because it has a tendency to heat up. The wires come apart, could create a fire hazard. So
That's
same
it?
thing.
That's what they're worried about.
That's what they're worried about. Yeah. So what happens is the same
That's
thing is
sarcasm, Jimmy.
same.
The irony is there's a water issue here and a fire issue.
Yeah.
It should balance
Yeah.
out.
So
right?
yeah, but exactly, it put itself out.
How do the polybutylene pipes hold up in a fire?
Next time, I don't know, but next time I'm selling a house with both, I'm going to use that as a positive. Hey, you can put your own fire out.
Yeah, we got good news and some bad news.
But then some good
That's
news.
pretty funny. So, so we had to deal with this. So we dealt with it up front, found out that the poly was okay. Didn't realize the Challenger panel was going to be an issue. So now we got a double whammy. We have the inspection report. It shows both. The house had a lot of other honeydews, but the kids were like, Jim, don't lose this house for me. And but I really felt they needed to deal with the poly. So we come up with a counter that we were going to do for the polybutylene and the electrical panel. So even though we were asking for a credit at closing, so what we did is we put the house under contract, but said at closing, we'd like to get $5,000 back to help pay for the down payment and closing costs. And the reason why the kids wanted to do that, and I'm sorry I'm calling you guys kids, but I'm a lot older than you. I'm more than twice your guys' age. So
Yeah, they are
that's the thing.
adults.
Yeah, so they're in their 30s, I think, right? So, but anyway, the bottom line is they were hoping that they were going to use that money to do some repairs, but now they got much bigger repairs. So we were like, we got to renegotiate this. Now, here's the interesting part. The agent, when we countered the first time, they were very tough on the counter. So I had a feeling they were going to be tough on the inspection. So I wrote a very detailed email explaining everything that was wrong that they cared about, and they were ignoring a lot of other things. Appliances didn't work. Window didn't shut correctly, a couple other things, right? So the agent, I was totally stunned. We asked for a very reasonable credit, right? We wanted an extra, I think, rough numbers, $5,000 drop lower on the price, which wouldn't really cover all the polybutylene, let alone the electrical panel. And then Ross's company, because Ross has been out of town, his people said that they couldn't get insurance for the unit. So then I sent a message back right away saying, well, before Ross left, he said he could. I need to know yes or no because I'm in the middle of negotiation. So what they found is that no insurance company would insure the property. They had to go to what's called surplus insurance. And the surplus insurance was much more expensive than a regular policy. But they still could afford it even with the increased insurance. But it was a significant amount. It was going to cost them like $125 a month more in their mortgage payment.
That is.
So we asked for the credit. I couldn't believe this. The agent calls back and she says,
She emailed you back.
she emailed me back. That's right. And she said, we gave her a counter. She gave us a counter back, which was a very lazy counter. What she did is she cut the thing in half. So whatever we asked for, she cut in half. That's a very lazy negotiation. It's almost pro forma that some agents just do that. So,
Or maybe it's a cut to the chase. Like, let's meet in
well,
the middle.
I asked her, right. But to me, that was a very lazy way to do it because these are serious issues. So what happened was, in my opinion, okay, so what happened was I sent a message to her saying, thank you for your counter to my counter. I need to talk to you. Please call me back. She sent a very terse text back. I already sent you our counter. It's in your email. Read it. I'm like, really? So I said, great. Send a cancellation and release and send me an extension period until next Friday. Either one's okay with us. Let us know what you want to do. And then she picked up the phone right away, of course, right? Because I said, we're going to cancel and release if you're going to mess around like this. Get on the phone. And she goes, I don't understand what the big deal is. This report looked pretty good to me. And I'm like, really? You thought this is a good report? And I said, we spent all day trying to find an insurer that will insure this house. We found somebody. We could have gave up and just said it's not insurable, but we did find it because these kids want to buy the house. But they're not going to eat all these repairs. It's not right. And so we need you to come in and do this credit, which is very reasonable. They're being very reasonable with you. And she said, no. And she said, and I said, why? And she goes, I don't believe there's polybutylene pipe. And it was so obvious that it was polybutylene pipe.
You told
everywhere.
me that. I was like, oh, well, maybe it's like one of those, you can see it like on a stub out or something. Nancy sent me the inspection. It's 100%
everywhere.
and it's
It's all
there's
exposed.
Pictures in the attic of the pipes all running, right? Like, and you like every fixture is poly, right? The whole house is poly.
The whole house
It's just
is
funny
poly.
that she would say, are you sure? Right? Are you sure? Because it's like, wow, that's the most obvious.
So she
case
didn't
of
believe
poly.
the contractor. She didn't believe the inspector, she said. And I said, look, these kids aren't messing around with you. They still want to buy the house. It isn't like they were walking away from you. The reason why they're walking away is because you guys are being such jerks on the inspection. You're killing your own deal. And I go, so she goes, well, I have contractors. I'm going to bring them out. And I go, awesome. If you could prove that there's no polybutylene, that's better for my buyers. But I know there's polybutylene there. So go ahead and bring your contractors out. But if you're going to do that, we need to extend the inspection. It ended yesterday. We need to extend the inspection till next week so they can bring their contractors out. We're going to bring out a licensed electrician, a licensed plumber that specializes with this stuff. And I'm telling you right now that it's going to be way more than what these kids are asking for. So she says, well, I'm going to have to get back to the sellers. And I say, well, that's good.
That's what you should do. Yeah.
And then she called me back like 15 minutes later. And she goes, I have contractors that can handle this, but we just decided we're going to give you the credit and move forward. And that's calling the bluff.
Yeah.
Because she was so tough. She was making like, no, I'm not doing that. The house was on the market 81 days. They already had one price drop. Now they know they got polybutylene and a bad electrical panel.
Right.
And if we brought out our contractors and proved it twice, they would have an inspection and contractors telling them the same thing. Then when they put the house back on the market, they're going to have to disclose that because in their seller disclosure, they put in no polybutylene and all the appliances were working correctly. And none of that was true.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think anybody lied because I don't think they knew that there was polybutylene there. I really don't believe it. I just think the agent didn't do their job. Are you looking at the poly?
Yeah, I'm showing.
Yeah, the poly.
Should I put it on the camera?
Yeah.
Guys,
so,
you want to know if you got poly in your house?
Yeah, there you go. Mike's showing you right now.
It's a little blurry, something like that.
So
those look blue there, but they're kind of like grayish.
So Josh
bluish.
was like, please don't lose this house, Jim. I'll take it with the original terms. I'm like, no, you're not doing that.
But he's a blue collar guy, right? So he
works for electrician union. He's a union guy for electrician.
Sheet metal, actually.
Oh, I thought he was an electrician.
No, sheet metal, and then but I know he did AC for a while, so he's like not afraid to get his hands dirty, and that's something like I wouldn't recommend as a DIY project, but if you got a certain level of skill and maybe a friend or two, like it's something you could take on.
Chris Peterson from KW, he's one of the agents that's going to be working with me. He has worked with me in the past, but now he's going full time.
Yeah.
Chris bought a unit with me that had polybutylene. We knew. Chris is very handy. He ripped out all the poly himself and put it all in himself.
Wow.
As owner builder. So you can do that. I think that Josh is going to be equipped to do this if he wanted to, and this is why. All the poly, it's accessible. In a very tight, first of all, it's accessible, and it's in a very tight area. It isn't running throughout the whole thing. It's all collected in one area. So it's going to be very easy to take out and put in. It's still going to be expensive. It's going to be, in my opinion, $7,000 to $8,000 just to rip out the poly. And then you got to fix the walls because sometimes you got to cut in through the drywall and everything to access the poly pipe to put the new stuff in.
I don't think it's not an easy project.
No, it's messy, but it's doable. And then once they do fix the poly and the channelers are a panel, then they can get regular insurance to save themselves $125 a month.
Not to mention the increase in value immediately.
Yeah, there will be an increase in value because they can say we don't have poly because the whole neighborhood has poly. So unless people ripped it out, that whole neighborhood was built with poly. It wasn't just this one unit.
Right.
So the fact that they don't have poly, they could say, hey, we don't have any poly, and that'll be a benefit.
Long term, that's a long term.
Exactly.
Oh, you guys are going to make me watch Along Came Polly, like probably tonight.
Thanks for beads. Great movie.
So
raindrops.
Congratulations, Josh and Lisa. And shout out to Mike on that one. Not only was he the mortgage broker on that, that I needed advice on the first part of the negotiation about getting a credit from the seller to close on the deal. And Mike gave me some really good advice, and we reconfigured the original offer to get.
Yeah, I think it was more about like how do I communicate what we want in a way that's going to get them to bite on it.
Yeah, because that agent was a little tough. She was like a no nonsense agent. She was really cutthroat. And I'm not, hey, that's her job. She's a single agent working for the other side. But she was very cutthroat and she really wanted to alpha dog the whole thing. And, I was like, okay, we're going to find out how much of alpha dog you are.
Yeah.
We're going to pull out. We're going to do what's called the takeaway.
Were you bluffing when you sent when you asked for
Oh,
the
yeah,
cancellation?
I was totally bluffing.
Everyone was bluffing.
Oh, I was totally bluffing because I hadn't even talked to this is a really bad thing, but I haven't even talked to Josh and Lisa yet.
Yeah.
And I told him, look, I did something without your permission. I hope you're okay. And he's like, you're freaking awesome. He was so happy. He's like, you did exactly. He goes, you're a great negotiator. It wasn't the hardest negotiator ever, but just so you know, buyers in this kind of market don't have to just cave in to do whatever the seller says.
Yeah.
You have some control.
There might have been other units in that same neighborhood.
We looked at every single one, and there was one that was 25,000 left, so that we could have went to that one if we wanted to.
Just needed a lot of work.
Our plan was we were going to cancel. He did agree at one point to cancel. I was going to say, look, we'll cancel for 10 to 14 days. If the house doesn't sell, it's been on the market 81, it could sell. But now there's all these problems that we exposed. So if we don't find anything better, we can always come back 10 to 14 days later and turn in an offer lower than we originally turned in and see if they'll take that. So we didn't have to go down that road. They're super, super happy. Now the next step is the appraisal.
Yep.
So Mike's working on the appraisal right now. Thank you so much, Mike, for working on that and help me out on that one. Now I want to talk about my newest listing. We just put up a 4-bedroom, 3-bath townhome. 4-bedroom, 3-bath. This is pretty nice with the garage.
Wow.
Not a gated community. The HOA is only 140, right? It's in Boynton Beach. What I love about this community, I think there's only 21 units and has its own community pool. Nobody uses that pool every time I'm there. So
but it's wintertime.
It's like that's almost like your private pool, for you, because nobody hardly ever uses it. It's also centrally located in Boynton Beach, and it's surrounded by a 55 and over community of single family homes.
Huh.
So it's a very, very quiet community, really centrally located. We have it on the market for only $445,000. Really good value. We put it on the market Thursday night. We already have our first showing today.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Nice.
And we're really looking forward to getting that one moved.
Pretty desirable there. 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, and a garage.
And 2,000 square feet under air, true 2,000 square feet under air.
Good
So
size.
it's a really nice one. It has a really nice, it has a bedroom downstairs, which a lot of people are looking for. A lot of times when you have 2-story homes, there's people that want to have at least one bedroom downstairs. Sometimes they prefer the master. This one isn't necessarily a master suite, but there is right next door to the common bath. And then it also has a really nice backyard patio. It has a covered patio and then an open patio. And he has done some nice upgrades. He put bamboo flooring throughout the whole upstairs. It's really nice. Really nice unit, ready to go, turnkey, ready to go. If you're interested in that property, just give us a call and we'll help you find out more about it. And it's not a 55 and over. This is all ages community called Largo Point.
Awesome.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you, William, for hiring me. And thank you, AJ. AJ from Experienced Appraisers gave that guy a list of a couple of agents. He asked AJ for an appraisal. So he
Wow.
asked for a couple of agents. I think AJ gave him 2 or 3 agents, and William called me. I'm sure he called the other people, but he hired me. So thank you very much for trusting us. We're going to get the job done for you.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
Also, we are going, wow, I can't believe it's that late. I thought that we were going to take the half-hour break. We're going to,
Time flies, Jim.
yeah. So I tell you what, let's take the break, and we're going to talk about a program called Smart Start. I always called it the wrong
Smart
thing. Did I say it right? Don't do it, Mike.
I
Don't
told
do
Jim
it.
yesterday, I was like, it rhymes, Jim. It rhymes.
Smart
Because
Start.
he said smart sense. And then I was like, smart start.
Because
As he's talking, he's like, so Mike, I'm talking the smart sense. And I'm like, smart start. He goes, and the smart sense. And
Start.
Smart start. I just kept doing it. And then eventually he caught on. He's like, wait, am I saying it wrong? Yeah.
It reminds me of one time, locker room comes up after the show. Greek's calling out a band. It was called, I think the band's name is Many Faces. It was Many Faces. They're
Many.
still out there. They perform
MANY.
Many Faces.
Yeah.
Greek comes out. He's like, making faces. AG, their name's Many Faces.
Yeah.
That's what I said. No, it's making faces. Dude, it's Many Faces. That's what I said. It's not at all what you said.
I feel like
it's making faces. Stop. Welcome to the stage, Many Faces.
I think that me and the Greek and Dr. Glenn are all cut from the same cloth because we all screw up things like that in the past. You know,
Over and over. The
Dr.
problem
Glenn from the Love Doctors.
The problem is the correction and the instant.
No, but he has it written in his, like, it just comes out one way, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how you've stored it.
Smart sense.
Yeah.
It's smart sense.
Smart sense.
I
That's what I
remember
said.
the first year we were on the show, we were trying to do a charity event for the Love Doctors. And all Dr. Glenn had to say was, if you love the Love Doctors, you got to like Florida Talk Real Estate Show. That's
luck.
all he had to say.
Good luck.
Never happened.
Who's
We
the
didn't end
pro?
up. He never got it.
He's
He never
he's
got
a
it. We
pro.
had to
You just
stop.
place that
He
together.
tried like 20 times.
If you love the Love Doctors,
You got to like
like
the
it.
Florida Talk Real Estate
Yeah.
page because we were giving out, I think, $4 for every like. We tried to raise $6,000 or something. For
Yeah,
the
all you could
charity
do is
back
like
then.
the Facebook page, and there was donation
Wow.
to the charity.
And Glenn was like, if you like Florida Talk Real Estate, you gotta. And then he stopped because he realized it didn't make any sense. He kept doing it over. And I'm like, Dr. Glenn, it's just, if you love the Love Doctors, you gotta like the Florida Talk
That
Real
makes
Estate page.
perfect smart sense.
Yeah,
Let's
he
start.
So
did.
you
Yeah.
called him Dr.
Yes.
Glenn when you were talking to him.
Johnny, you're funny. So on the flip side, we're going to talk about Smart Start.
Yes,
This is the mortgage firm only program.
that's it.
Exclusive.
And it-
Proprietary, if you will.
Yes, proprietary program. I'm going to use that term.
Oh, I like that.
And we're going to talk about all the people that are using that program right now to either buy a new property where they get $15,000 from the mortgage firm to help buy the property.
Beautiful.
And we're using it to market properties to offer buyers $15,000 when we're selling properties. So we're going to talk about all that.
Come on.
And we're going to give a shout out to Noel and Vanessa. because they're double dippers. And we're going to talk about that.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah. It's an awesome thing. Thanks for being with us every Saturday. Always remember you can join us toll free at 877-927-6969. Dial in with your question, comment, concern in the world of real estate. Get involved with the conversation at hand. Don't be shy. You're always welcome. Of course, if you're not comfortable on the radio and you need a pros pro, an expert in a field that touches the world of real estate, or you are buying or selling a home, you're stuck with a home, you don't know what to do, use FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. It's a resource of amazing professionals. These people work cohesively together. You hear example after example, picking up the phone, getting the answer that you need now, and the right answer too. It matters most. You can get the wrong answer in a lot of places. The right answer is what you're looking for. A team is a phenomenal thing, and you get it all. A team of pros at FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. On Facebook, on YouTube, consume away. Hit the share button, because you never know. You can change lives, including your very own, with the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. We're back in 4 minutes. Thanks for being with us every Saturday. We're live on this 21st of February. Get you some all over your face. Florida Talk Real Estate right here on Real Radio.
We'll be your friend. Follow us at Real Radio 92.1 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Here's what's happening with the weather on Real Radio.
I'm meteorologist Charlotte Carl with CBS 12 News. We're expecting nice conditions through the rest of the day, relatively calm winds. However, we are going to get a little bit warm, low and middle 80s across the area. We typically see temperatures in the middle 70s this time of year. A little bit of cloud cover builds in west of I-95 for this afternoon. Front arrives tomorrow.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Score major deals on top brands at Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Find your dream mattress today. Their sleep experts are highly trained to find the right one to fit your unique needs. They make sleep easy.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DiPaola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rauch from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rauch will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rauch, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Camaronets, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DiPaola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Yeah, do it if you dare. If you have a question, a comment, a concern, you'd like to get involved with the conversation at hand, you are more than welcome to. We're live on this February 21st. It's 9:45. And thank you for being with us on the old radio there. Maybe you're on the iHeartRadio app or live stream it, Facebook or YouTube. Florida Talk Real Estate on all the above there. Of course, Florida Talk Real Estate LLC on YouTube. Consume away. Lots to consume there. And hit the share buttons, hit the like buttons. We thank you for all your interaction. Jimothy is our producer extraordinaire. What's up, my guy?
Hello, and good morning.
Good morning. I'm Johnny C. I'm your old buddy, your pal, your air traffic control. Mike Rauch is with us. He's the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. Hello, my friend.
Hey, hello, sir. Good morning.
Jimmy D's over here, too. That's Jim DiPaola. He's our fearless leader. 14 years now, I've told you, he runs a top producer, Keller Williams team, Florida Home Pros, Keller Williams Innovations. How are you, Jimmy D?
I'm doing good. I wanted to do a call out to our radio audience, our listeners on Facebook and YouTube, too.
Call outs.
I know that we have some musicians that are in our database. I'm looking to create a new jingle or something for the beginning of the show.
Oh.
I was listening.
The song contest.
Yeah, so I was hoping somebody might be able to create a song related to Florida Talk Real Estate that we can make a little ditty and put it together and turn it into a new thing.
I feel like with AI, we could have that song by the end of the show.
I was thinking everybody.
What genre do you want?
Lately, everybody's been commenting on my Western boots that I wear all the time, and I've been getting a lot of comments on it lately, even though I haven't bought any new boots in a very long time.
So what would make the boot Eastern if they were Eastern boots?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Eastern boots? I guess they would be shorter. They wouldn't be as tall.
Rattlesnake?
So, yeah. Eastern, maybe. I don't know.
Diamondback?
Yeah. But the reason why I came up with this, for some reason, I got these boots are made for walking in my head. You know that song, these boots are made for walking.
Sure.
So I was like,
Nancy
these
Sinatra,
boots,
right?
after I had that big negotiation I won, I heard that song and I was like, these boots are made for closing. And I was talking about that and I was thinking up lyrics. I was like, well, I can't use that song because it's copyrighted.
Yeah,
so I want to make our own.
One.
Yeah,
We can cross that one.
Close all.
The other one I was thinking was there's a song called Rock On. Have you ever heard Rock On? The song Rock On? It was the 70s song.
Rock on.
Yeah. Yeah, you know that song.
That one?
So yeah, one of the
Is it Hey Kids Rock and Roll?
Yeah,
Rock
Hey
On?
Kids Rock On.
Perfect.
Soothe my soul,
Yeah.
right? Soothe my soul. But at one point
Hey,
it says
kids.
something about Jimmy Dean.
Yes.
James Dean.
That's right.
And I thought it sounds like Jimmy
So
Dean.
that's not what you were singing, right? It's
It
like-
is, believe it or not. Yeah.
Oh, it's the same song?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That song, yeah.
There we go.
And when it says
Rock on.
Jimmy Dean,
Yeah.
it sounds like Jimmy D. I don't think I'm stealing that song
Yeah.
somehow. I'm going to call it
You
Jimmy
just reminded
D
me,
song.
Jim. One of my first jobs back in the day, I was a sandwich artist at Subway.
Subway?
Nice.
Yeah.
Sandwich artist.
That's what we called ourselves.
Yep, sandwich artist.
How long did you have that gig?
Geez. I don't know. A
And
year maybe?
You have all
Years,
your
something.
fingers?
I made it 4 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
did
have-
you? You worked the Subway?
They blew me out after 4 days.
Oh, 4 days.
He was
Yeah.
not an
Oh, 4
artist. He was
days.
not an
No, I
artiste.
gave away too much
Wait, you
food.
got blown out?
They
in the,
they fired me.
in the walk-in?
Yeah.
Hey, you
Well,
can't
yes,
put
that-
5 pounds
That might have
of
been a
meat.
part of the problem, too.
You can't put 5 pounds of meat on the sandwich, Johnny.
I gave away too much free food.
But I came up with a theme song, and I was like, why doesn't Subway run this song? It is, you know the song "Feel Like Making Love."
Oh yeah, feel
Yeah.
like making.
It was
what,
"Feel Like Making
sub,
Subs," right?
Feel
Be
like
making
making
sub for you, right? Like I had this thing I would run through my head. I was like, oh, that's a great theme song. for
Feel
Subway.
like making
Yeah,
subs.
right?
The only weird, the only kind of weird, not weird, the only kind of restaurant thing I did, I used to make ice cream for Swenson's ice cream place. I used to make 500 gallons of ice cream a day. And
Nice.
I 30 something different flavors with the swirl and the fudge and the
Really?
nuts and all that stuff. Yeah.
Huh.
And they used to have you in a little glass booth and you'd make the ice cream and people would watch
people
you
watch
making
you.
the ice cream. Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
Oh, we
It's a
had
lot of pressure.
the funny part is there were 3 of us that were making ice cream. There were 3 buddies that were wrestlers. And man, when we
You
were
guys would
sucking,
wrestle in the ice cream.
when we were sucking weight and all that sweet food, and you couldn't eat anything because you were sucking weight so bad, it was
Brutal.
so bad. But I realized at one point that we're the only 3 people that knew how to make ice cream for that store, and we were all like 16, 17 years old.
Oh.
And then one at the Broward Mall, the electricity went down. They lost all the ice cream. They called us up and said, "We need you to come in to make all the ice cream." Well, it was during a school day, right? I mean, we were 16 and 17 years old, and they were demanding that we come in to make the ice cream. So I got the other 2 guys and said, "We're not coming in unless they give us a raise." So we went on strike, and we went from like, I don't know, it was $2.65 an hour in 1980 or something. And we went up to, are we okay?
Should be all right now.
Okay, what happened?
Right before we were supposed to do my segment, Timothy's got the camera doing something funny.
Oh,
you're on
okay.
my
Your camera went off.
Oh, this
Yeah.
camera shut off.
Yeah.
Oh, so now I'm on my
So
laptop.
we went
Hold on.
went
Is that what it
into
is?
It's now
so
on my
anyway,
laptop
we went
camera.
into we
It
went
switched.
into said we're not coming in unless you give us a raise. So we went from like $2.65 to $5 something an hour. That manager
Nice.
was so mad because she didn't know what to do. So she gave
Wow.
us all the raise and we went in and did the ice cream.
That's amazing.
But then they got smart. The corporate managers brought in an adult and they trained them because usually you're trained in the store to make the ice cream. They trained them at a different facility and then they brought them in once he knew how to make the ice cream and then they fired all of us.
Yeah.
But I
Your
was a
plan
union
backfired.
buster. I created the union. I was like,
love
you're not
it.
doing that. Isn't that funny?
Hey, it worked for a minute though.
Hey, it did.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny. So let's talk about that Smart Start program that Mike got going.
Yeah, this is fantastic. And as we noted when we went to break here, this is as I like to say, proprietary. So the mortgage firm has developed the Smart Start program. And when you get the details from Mike on this is a remarkable benefit. This is $15,000 that the mortgage firm is basically saying, here, use this towards some of your closing obligations. I'm going to let the pro give you the details, though. Explain a little bit about the Smart Start program, please,
Yeah,
Mike.
I mean, it's it's as simple as you just made it sound. We, the mortgage firm, have $15,000 for you, the buyer, to use towards closing costs, buying down your interest rate, buying out MI, basically any of the costs that are non-down payment related. This money can be used to cover that. And if it's too much, like let's say your closing costs are only $8,000, you got an extra $7,000, we're going to throw it at the rate, which effectively bumps up your costs, right? But we're covering it for you, right? So it's a variety of ways you can use the money. There's no strings attached. This is the hardest part that people have trouble grokking because it's not normal. This is not a second. It's not down payment assistance. It's not a lien against the home. It's not repayable. There's no payment. There's no interest. It's basically a credit, a lender credit that the mortgage firm is giving towards the buyer.
It's free money.
It's free money.
Wow.
So here's
Yeah.
what a skeptic's going to do. A skeptic's going to say, all right, so what are you getting a higher rate?
What's the
Is
catch?
there higher fees? Like,
Yep.
how is this company making this 15,000 back? Because there's no
Yep.
way a company's just giving you $15,000.
It's basically, it is a community lending initiative. And there's one criteria. The home has to be in a qualifying geographic zone, essentially. Right. And so you would say that like, oh, well, I guess it's very limited. No, it's actually, it is Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade County. Okay. If we're in
Broward,
St.
Dade.
Lucie or Martin, sorry guys, that program's not eligible. But a lot of our buyers are in Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade counties. And a lot of homes qualify for this program in those 3 counties. A lot more than you might think initially. Jim's got some very real world examples that are happening.
Very
right now.
surprising. So, for example, when I use these programs that usually are geographic placed for down payment assistance government programs, usually those programs are trying to redevelop an area that is economically depressed.
Yeah, call it underserved communities.
Yeah, they call
And
it.
there's a lot of community lending initiatives that are targeting those what you would traditionally consider like, okay, something needs to change in this community because it's just it's on the wrong end of good, right?
Right. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring people with income and jobs into areas that that's lacking, and trying to increase the values of the homes in the neighborhood by being people in there that can afford everything, and also upgrade the houses over time and stuff like that. What was really surprising when Mike told me about this program, he told me about it a couple months ago, I think, and he kept saying it's going to be a thing. But what I didn't get was, I was thinking, okay, it's only going to be in certain select neighborhoods and you got to be the perfect situation in order to get it. So wrong. We were in Westlake, Johnny, brand new communities out there, Westlake, where Mike, I called up Mike. I was like, I
Is it
heard.
even possible?
Yeah, is it even possible that this can be in the neighborhood? And it is.
Yeah.
And there's a couple from Texas that might be buying are going to be buying in East Florida, because they're coming out here for the South Florida Water Management District. I'm trying to get them over to Mike now, because that's an extra $15,000 that they can get to pay for the down payment and closing costs.
Well,
you can't get it from anybody. You have to get it from the mortgage firm.
Well, that's just a bonus, because not only are you working with one of the best in Mike, but you got
That's
the mortgage
real
firm.
benefit.
Well, and then
That's
you're
the
also
real
like, and I'm getting access to $15,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the one thing about this program is because it is kind of like it's based on the house itself. Like, so a lot of these assistance, let's call it assistance programs, helping you with the cash requirement, right? We talked about that last week. Like, one of the biggest hurdles, especially for first-time home buyers, is coming up with like, even when you're doing a low down payment, when you're doing FHA at 3.5% or conventional at 5% down, or even 3% down sometimes, it's still a lot of money. So how do you come up with all this money that's required? Well, if you get a lot of help, and the money required is a combination of down payment and closing costs, and a category I call prepaid items. The big ticket one there is like your homeowners insurance, right? You got to pay for your first year of homeowners insurance, so you're covered for the full year. That's a several $1,000 item. So how do you come up with all that money? That's been a challenge for people through the year. You're saving it up, or you're getting it with down payment assistance. Maybe you're getting some help from the seller, something like that. So this is just a big step in helping people achieve that part of getting approved to buy a house.
So let me ask you a couple of questions to try to supercharge this, to see if you could supercharge it. Okay.
Okay.
If you're using the mortgage firm, what do you even call it? The Smart Start? Okay, so if you use the mortgage for $15,000 Smart Start, I know, right? Do I have a problem?
What's this program called, Mike?
This
is how we supercharge it. It's the Smart Start, the mortgage firm Smart Start incentive.
Well, could you combine that with the down payment assistance program?
You can't with the most common one, like Hometown Heroes, Florida Housing, can't combine it with those programs. And I don't know all the nuance for why that is, but if you're using some of the local ones, like the SHIP program or the 50,000, home buyer match one that's rolling out, I forget if we talked about that or not. We should, but you can combine it with those. So
okay,
it depends.
Now, what about this? Can you get a seller credit and the money from the mortgage firm?
Yes.
So you could do that?
You can definitely do that.
That's such a big deal.
You're going to run into a scenario where you've got too much money.
Too much.
That's not yours, right? It's called
That's called awesome.
That's a good problem.
Interested party contributions and IPC, and there's limits on what you could do. But it's very easy to kind of overcome that by saying, okay, we have too much money. Where we need to increase your costs. How do you increase your cost? You pay points to buy down your interest rate.
You do.
So that's how you're using the 15. You could use the entire 15 to buy down your interest rate, and you're going to have a way lower rate than like if you didn't have the 15,000.
How much does that buy a rate down? 15K. What does that buy a rate down?
I wish I had like a super easy answer to that, Johnny. It's basically 1% of your loan amount. 1 point, we call that, will buy down the rate about 1/4%.
All right, so let's say it's a $500,000 house to make it easy.
Yeah. So you've got, if we play that out,
20
you've got essentially 3 points. So 3 points should buy down your interest rate about 0.75.
Yeah, 15,000 is 3 points. So
on a 500, now if you're doing a $100,000 loan,
right,
it's 5%, right?
Yeah,
so it changes, right?
Yep.
So you're going to get a significantly, it's somewhere 3/4 to a full percentage point less. So you go from 6 to 5, or from 6.5 to whatever. And like the rates came out. We didn't talk about that. But
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Okay. So Freddie Mac, we had a little bit of a dip this week coming with rates. And so but we're still at 6%, right? So if you're getting 5%, everyone else is getting 6%. That's nice.
Yes.
But even if your credit or your down payment or you're doing a cash out refi, whatever it is, you might have you're not going to have that 6%. You're going to be something higher than that, right?
Right.
Just because that's the way it works. But you're going to be still lower than you would be otherwise if you throw it towards the rate. You can also split it up, maybe half of it towards rate, half of it to cover some costs. There's a variety. Or you could do it completely to cover costs, right? So $15,000 that you don't have to bring to the table.
And here's the other thing that's awesome. Johnny, if you were to sell your home and buy a new home and your home meets this Smart Start criteria, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. You could be a homeowner and get the loan, correct?
That's the other beautiful thing about this program is a lot of these assistants, and this was kind of where I was going earlier and I didn't get to it, but there's qualifications based on your ability to qualify. So maybe like a minimum credit score requirement or income limits. Very, very common with the down payment assistance programs that there's income limits saying you have to make under a certain threshold to qualify, right? And so the idea there is like, do you really need the assistance? So there's some things. So Smart Start, we don't have those. Obviously, you have to have qualifying credit. You're doing a loan, but as long as you can get the loan approved, Smart Start qualifies. There's no minimum credit. There's no income restrictions. So basically, it applies to everybody, and it's not even first-time home buyers, for any home buyer. And we can do it for refinances. A certain number of them. Yeah. So this is pretty powerful stuff. Now, this isn't like your magic pill to now I should refinance, right? But it could make the difference. If you're sitting at like a 7% or 7.5% or something like that, it could make the difference for whether it makes sense to refinance or not. So,
but it depends on where your home is located.
It's all about what the census tract, what the demographics of the census tract that your home lives in.
So that's what it's based on. It's based on the demographics of your census tract.
That's right.
It's not based on. So Westlake, you were surprised because it was newer, but the demographics are skewed appropriately to where it fits into the parameters of how the Smart Start program is set up through Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward.
Yeah, exactly.
For the mortgage.
So it's like a mix of ethnicity or something, from what I understand, like demographics.
Pretty
much.
But it isn't based on poverty levels, which a lot of the other programs are based on. So that's what I love about this program, and the fact that it's not only for first-time home buyers. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's so many opportunities of where you could live.
So if to get to kind of where you were going with, so you have somebody, if you own a home and your home qualifies, this is one of the benefits of the program for a listing agent. And I don't know if I should, it's kind of been a difficult rollout with the program because I can't guarantee a particular buyer is going to be eligible or not, because it's until you find the house, right? So I can't go out and say, hey, listen, you're definitely going to qualify for Smart Start. Let's shop based on that. It's more like, okay, you found your house. Hey, guess what? Surprise, it works, right? We can take advantage of this. But if you're selling your home, or if you're a listing agent who's listing a home, Johnny, how powerful, if you're going to sell your home, how powerful is it to say, hey, listen, we've got $15,000 for you if you buy this home
with the mortgage firm?
As long as you have to, it's exclusive to the mortgage firm. So it's kind of like, I feel guilty about like poaching people who have talked to a loan originator. They're out there with their pre-approval, they're shopping, and then they see this house, and then it's like, hey, sorry, we go with us because we got $15K for you. But there's just no other lender has it.
We're all
has to be that way.
I'm cut from the same cloth as you, where I don't like poaching either. But the bottom line is that you're offering an awesome service for people.
Yes. And they're in remarkable hands. It's not like they're sacrificing any kind of servicing or expertise in order to slip into this advantageous situation. You're actually probably putting yourself in better hands and getting the opportunity at a awesome $15,000.
If you're a seller, a potential seller, or you're a listing agent, and you could say, hey, we have just imagine that scenario. I've got a $15,000 seller credit to give to your buyer to help them cover their costs. Like, how powerful is that from a marketing, advertising, hey, look at our home, make this one the one you want. So there's an opportunity there, Jim. If you currently own a home in a qualifying zone and you're buying a home in a qualifying zone, you get the benefit of offering Smart Start on your listing, as long as they talk to somebody with the mortgage firm to do the financing, and you get to take advantage of it on the new home that you're buying. Well, which is a scenario we actually have happening live.
That's amazing scenario, by the way. I get a drip of homes, right? We're looking for a very specific family situation.
Yep.
And I click through and I read the caption, and some of them like, let me see, you flip through. And I'm noticing more and more in some of the listings, there's like seller concessions and sellers are willing to negotiate.
Yeah.
So that's a wonderful thing to put into your listing as
Throw
well,
that in
right?
there.
It's intriguing from a buyer's perspective, but man, if it also said, and there's a chance
Right.
with the Smart Start program for $15,000 on this property, like that's just another, hey, you should really check out this property.
And there's no strings for your seller either. It's not like the seller is giving up any of their
Right.
Their
It isn't
potential
like it's
all.
coming out of the
Nothing.
seller's
Oh,
Right.
pocket.
Yeah, it's not.
So what
pretty
I
amazing.
what I did recently, I took 4 homes that are coming on the market, including the one in Boynton Beach, and we gave Mike the 4 homes, and 2 of them qualified and 2 didn't. Right. So one of them is Noel and Vanessa's townhome. We're going to be putting that home on the market next week. It is a townhome. I think it's 3, 2.5. I'm sorry, Noel, I don't remember,
Townhome.
but it's another townhome, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and he has it really nicely fixed up, super low HOA, walk to an elementary school, literally next door, right? So this is great for parents with young children or something and want the easy commute. And that property is going to qualify for the $15,000. So Noel is going to be able to put out there through me, hey, if you use the mortgage firm, we got $15,000 sitting here waiting for you. Now on that property, based on the purchase price, with 5% down, Mike, you probably need like $28,000 to $32,000 to close. So if you use a Mike, half of that money is coming from the mortgage firm
With no strings.
with no strings, and you don't have to pay it back or anything later.
Gosh.
Then on top of it, what we found out is we put this is the shout out, Noel and Vanessa. We found them a really nice home in Broward County.
Awesome.
It qualifies for the program, so they're going to get 15,000 of the 50,000 that they were planning on bringing to the table because we got the right house. 15,000 of it is coming from the mortgage firm now, so they're going to make 15,000
That's winning.
to help buy the new home, and then they're going to be offering 15,000 to buyers to help buy the home that they're selling. How awesome is that?
That's so winning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and they probably would have been with Mike anyway. I'm
Yeah.
just guessing.
Oh, yeah,
Were,
for sure.
They were.
Yeah,
This
so
is
they
a
were.
surprise to them.
They just stumbled into awesomeness.
Yeah.
They're not like going to Mike because of the awesomeness.
I
They're
mean,
like, oh, wow.
Isn't that the best
yes?
stumble you could
He was
have?
so
Wait,
happy.
I
It
just
is.
fell into a pile of money.
Mike goes, hold on
Wow.
a second. Let me look at something. Look at this.
he was so happy when he found out yesterday. He
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, Jim, I got good news." And I go, "I already know what the good news is. I was waiting, Mike.
His
I was waiting
initial
for Mike to
reaction-
tell you."
Yeah, his initial reaction, like a lot, which is, what's the catch?
Yeah.
Like, what's the catch? And
You're waiting,
listen,
right?
I am not like a gimmicky guy. This isn't like a big sales pitch. It's just this thing exists, and it's really amazing
Awesome.
that we can offer it. And I want as many people to take advantage of it as possible.
Yeah.
So
so
there's probably way more neighborhoods than I can even imagine when you say Palm Beach, Broward, and
Yeah.
Dade.
Yeah, I wish I had like just a map, like, oh, go find here, but that's just not how it's going to work on the house
Mhm.
hunting side.
But it's like
So just-
literal neighborhoods, right? I mean, for the most part, are we talking? Because I would guess you're talking census tract.
There's lots of neighborhoods within a census tract, I would say. So I don't know how big they are. That they're all different sizes. I have no idea how they draw these maps. It's almost like, congressional mapping, like how you get the intricacies of what the borders are in this thing. The best thing I could do is if you're a buyer, don't count on it, but maybe we can get an idea just based on what price point that you're in or the areas that you're looking at. But it just we just got to be checking every time. So step one, talk to me if you're a buyer, or talk to somebody with the mortgage firm. Jim found that one in Westlake because the listing was basically talking about, hey, use Mike with the mortgage firm, the Smart Start, and it turns out it's another Mike who's a loan originator with the more great guy, but it's not me. So it's almost like Ross, like, what's the right way to use? It's the right way, Juno Beach.
Only Juno Beach.
Right? So Mike Rauch with the mortgage firm. You don't have to use me, but I'd sure love to be the one to help.
It
you.
was
So when it's our Mike, you got to put the mortgage guy in quotes.
Yeah, the
well,
mortgage guy
yeah,
with
the
the
mortgage
mortgage
guy. We
firm.
have to do the
Yeah.
mortgage guy because what happened was
Mike,
when I
Mike,
walked
Mike.
in, the
Boom.
agent told me, she goes, "This house qualifies for a $15,000 credit from the lender." So I looked at him and I looked
Is
at
that
the
smart
agent. I
sense?
go, "The mortgage firm?" And she looks at me and she goes, "Yes." And like she was surprised I even knew, right?
Right,
I
yeah.
go, "The mortgage firm?" And she goes, "Yes." And I go, "Is your lender named Mike?" And she said, yes.
And you're like, no.
And I'm like, oh, then you're
Mike
using my
Rauch?
guy, Mike Rauch. And then she told me the other Mike, who I actually did a loan with like 15 years ago. He's a good guy too.
He's a fan of the show. He
I
tells me
know
every
he
time
is
I
a
see
big
him, he's like,
Mike.
how's the
Mike
radio
is
going? Yeah.
Mike's a really great guy,
Yeah,
really
awesome.
great family man. If you're listening to Mike, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, way to rock it, dude.
But yeah, so anyway, that was a weird coincidence. There was two Mikes from the mortgage firm, and they were both offering
Yeah.
the program. I thought that was funny.
Well, you'd be in good hands too. Like anybody you're working with the mortgage firm, they're not all me, but they're mostly good, and they have the same kind of the wheels behind it. Yeah,
la
But,
la 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 la.
Yeah.
We know
what he
Mike.
means.
hey, I could tell you this, and this is what I was telling two people that I turned in offers for this week. When I talk to the agent, I always say two things about their qualifications. Number one, they're with the mortgage firm. It's a direct lender. This is a really solid process. And number two, Mike's been with me over 10 years or close to 10 years now. He's never, not one time in all of these years, told me he can get a buyer a loan and not get the loan. Never happened. So,
and that doesn't mean I say no to every, like I only take the very, very best, but I'll say no. I'll say not right now. But if we can do it, if there's a way, I'm the guy who's going to find that way for you.
If Mike says yes, I always tell people when you work with Mike, it's like having a cashier's check in your back pocket.
Boom.
That's how I say it all the time. It's like you don't have to worry about the money anymore. You know your money, right? You know your money. So you don't have to worry, oh, can I get this house or not? Especially with Mike's app. We're going to get into that another show, Mike. That app was so critical for Josh and Lisa and Noelke.
Yeah. Know your numbers.
Yeah, you got to know your numbers. And let me tell you, I just went through this.
Maybe that's our jingle. Know your numbers.
Know your numbers. Yeah, know your numbers, right?
Has anybody submitted any songs yet?
So, yeah, somebody better submit songs, okay? Because I'm coming up with really bad ideas. So
we got a song
come
contest, but we haven't laid out what the prize is.
So look,
dinner with Johnny.
That smart start program. This can make a big difference between people that can buy a home or not buying the home. The number one reason for people not being able to buy a home today isn't necessarily the mortgage payment. It's the money to get into the house is the biggest problem for most people.
For sure.
So if we can solve that problem for you and help you out with that, you're a homeowner. And let's go ahead and take a break right now. And on the flip side, we're going to tell you why it's a good time to do it right now, because we actually have a little bit of potential mortgage news, because we haven't talked about mortgage rates in a couple of weeks because they've been so boring. But now we're right on the edge of something maybe big.
Nice.
So we're going to talk about that on the flip side.
I love it. Well, knowledge is power. And if you're on the sidelines thinking that I'm never going to buy a home, believe me, I understand the mentality. I was there once before I was pushed out into the water and went swim. You're buying a house. Thanks to the Florida Talk Real Estate team, that became a reality for me and my family. And it can for you too. Don't get hung up in the I can't, and here's the reasons why, because we just laid out a bunch of opportunity for you that really helps out. Cash down is important and it's needed. And man, there's opportunity for you to get some free money for you to do that. Other people's money is what you're trying to spend. And don't get focused on out exactly where you stand with the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com on Facebook, on YouTube. Consume away, hit the share button, because you can change lives with the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com, including your very own. Buying a home, selling a home, stuck with a home, you don't know what to do. Remember FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Important news on the cusp of something big, we understand. We'll find out together in 4 minutes right here on Real Radio.
Because your pets are pretty lonely when you're gone. Tell your smart device to play Real Radio 92.1 on iHeartRadio. Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
I'm meteorologist Charlotte Carl with CBS 12 News. We're expecting nice conditions through the rest of the day, relatively calm winds. However, we are going to get a little bit warm, low and middle 80s across the area. We typically see temperatures in the middle 70s this time of year. A little bit of cloud cover builds in west of I-95 for this afternoon. Front arrives tomorrow.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging and replacement, batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DiPaola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rauch from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rauch will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rauch, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Camaronets, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because FloridaTalkRealEstate.com has you covered. That's FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DiPaola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Yeah, still about 40 minutes remaining on this Saturday for you. You're welcome to dial in toll free at 877-927-6969. Jimothy's our producer extraordinaire. What's up, my dude?
Hello, hello, and good morning.
Good morning, Johnny C. That's me. There's Mike Rauch. He's the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. Hello, my friend.
Hello. I'm good. I'm back. My video is now back to my good side.
Okay, good.
In case you guys were catching my bad side the last segment.
All right, well, it's safe to go back. Facebook and YouTube, you can watch the stream. Things are better.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Florida Talk Real Estate on
Thank
Facebook.
you, sir.
Yeah. Thanks, Jimothy. You're the best. Jimmy D's our fearless leader. He's the top producing team leader, the Florida Home Pros team, Keller Williams Innovations. What were your stats that you shared with us a couple weeks ago? Like individually? Or
They said I was #1 for individual production.
Yeah.
For closed units, #2 for gross income or something for the office. And
Oh.
then I
Patting
was
all the stats.
Yeah, I was also in number 7 out of 100 individual agents in the whole Southeastern. There's 7,000 of us. And I was in the top, not number 7, I was in the top 100 of the 7,000 agents in the area.
That's awesome.
That's only Keller Williams, not like all agents, just the Keller Williams agent.
I guess if you look at it the right way, you could be top 7 in that thing. So you're
Well,
in the top
I was number
100 out of
6 in my. I
7,000.
thought I was number
You could
6 in
kinda
my
skew that.
office because that's what I thought I was, but I ended up being
wrong.
number 1 individual.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I'm so glad I moved to that Boynton Beach Innovations office. I was at a different one, and it was okay, and I was there a very long time. But I was always the big fish in a smaller pond. The agents around me weren't as much production. I was like the number 2 guy in that office, and the number 1 guy was never there. So I had nobody to turn to get better or motivate me because I'm very competitive, but not competitive in a mean way. More like I enjoy it.
You want everyone to be competitive.
Yeah, I want everybody to like be rocking
rise
it,
up.
and it kind of makes me get energized for that. And I moved to this office because it was a much more productive office where they had much bigger production and bigger teams and everything. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to be the small fish in a bigger pond. I don't mind. It's going to make me grow in the long run. Didn't expect that, 2.5 years later or something that, I'm one of the bigger fish now.
Right. You didn't expect that?
No,
Really? You thought you'd be laying low?
I work pretty hard.
Yeah.
So I'm very competitive.
Modest.
Maybe I should say I did expect it, but I was surprised that
no one else expected it.
Yeah, I got to
Right.
tell you that everybody, because I'm like an idiot savant in that office. People still don't know about me that much yet. They're like, "Who is this guy?"
This guy, what the heck?
And I'm like, I'm a little different than everybody else. I'm one
Love
of the
his
top.
cowboy boots.
Yeah, I
Western
walk
boots.
in with my cowboy boots. I don't have an office anymore. Most people, when they get better, they create a bigger office. I stripped down and took
downsized?
my office away.
Nice.
So I'm working with all the young agents, and I'm surrounded by young agents all the time.
You're like Jerry Maguire when he went from the big thing to the small thing, right? Remember that?
I don't
plot line?
remember that movie. I mean, I know a little bit about the movie, but I don't remember it that much.
He worked at a big
I remember the
agency, and then
sports
he's like,
agency.
we've lost.
Show me the money.
Yeah, we've lost
Remember
sight
that.
on what's important,
Yeah.
the client, right?
Yeah.
And so then he, wrote a whole manifesto and.
Oh, I only remember 2 things. Show me the money,
Yep.
and you had me at hello or something, right?
Great line.
Yeah.
I remember
So-
seeing that in the movie theater and being wowed by that scene where he's like giving her the speech and everything. And she's like, "Just shut up. You had me at hello."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that hurt.
Uh,
that affected you, Mike?
I mean, it
You
was
got the little
yeah,
ting.
that's
You
what
got
made
the
me
little
so
tingle.
romantic. That's the second time I've said romantic.
Were you
with,
thinking
this
about that
show.
on the dance floor while you were sucking face?
Tinkle? Did you say tinkle?
Who said
tingle, not
Tingle.
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 Oh.
Okay, let me
Same,
these things
same.
up.
Jimothy
So-
had a tingle there when he heard about
Sure
the
did.
tinkling.
So
Ooh, so was it
I
too.
want to talk about something
Let's
that I
talk
thought
real estate.
very interesting that happened with the mortgage rates, because I haven't been looking the last couple of weeks because I've been so busy. But I knew they were hovering in the low sixes and that we really didn't have much change. But Thursday, we got down to 6.01. Are we going to hit a 5?
Ooh,
Are we finally going to hit that 5? Are we going to have 5.99 next week?
hope so.
5.98? What do you think, Mike? Do you think we're going to get into the 5s?
I don't know about next week, but sure. Why
Do you
not?
think we'll hit 5s? Because remember, at the beginning of the year or the end of last year, most of the people were saying that we were going to be at where we were towards the end of the year. It's like 6.25, somewhere in there. They didn't think we were going to hit the 5s.
Yeah, I mean, but we're at 6.01. So even if we had a 2/100ths drop, like there we are, we're at 5.99. So
That's what I'm thinking. Do you think it's going to make a big difference? Like, because what's going to happen. If we do get the 5.99, right? If we get the 5, the media is going to go nuts, right? The media is just going to have that headlines: lowest interest rates since
And whatever,
2021
yeah.
or
I mean,
whatever.
we get that every time we have the
I
slate.
know-
We've
I
had-
know,
How many
but-
times have we heard that headline just this year, right?
But the fact that it's a 5, that's because everybody, when you do the surveys, everybody says they're waiting for the interest rates to get in the
Yeah.
5. Now, 5.99 and 6.01,
Same.
you're saving about
Pretty much.
15 cents
I mean,
a month on your mortgage
So
payment.
that message though is as old as sales, right? Like for some people, $5.99 is $5, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
what that cost? Oh, it's $5. Oh, it's just $5.99, right?
Yeah.
So it's like really it's $6. No, it's that one. So yeah, we'll get some of that. And I'm sure people will. People have been itching to refinance. If you did loans in the past, several years, and you do, it's very likely you have a 7 in front of your interest rate. Like when you hear a 5 in front of an interest rate, that's like, okay, wait, maybe this is starting to make sense. We don't need to go into the whole like, is it a good time to refinance? But if you start getting that itch, I would simply encourage you to talk to somebody who, but how do I put it? Like when you're
somebody that might be able to offer you $15,000 to help pay for your refi.
Nice, depending on where your house
It's just more
Maybe
in
you should call
general.
that person.
Maybe.
More in general, like a lot of loan, especially these people that are calling you to refinance, or they're sending you letters to refinance. They are trying to convince you that it's a good time to refinance not because it's good for you,
That's so true.
but because it's good for them.
Mhm.
Right. And so you have to kind of keep that in mind, and you want to be talking to somebody who doesn't have that type of mentality. It's more like, okay, is it a good decision? Is it going to achieve your goals? And it's worth a conversation, at least, like before you pull the trigger on something. Like talk about it, make sure you've laid out kind of what you're trying to achieve with the refinance, and then you can assess whether it makes sense now or it doesn't make sense now. And that doesn't mean like wait because rate. No, it's like analyze the situation. Is it going to achieve your goals? Maybe you could do it. Maybe you shouldn't do it.
If you,
based on today's rates.
I'll tell you this though, based on today's rates versus when you bought. If you bought with a lower down payment in around November 2023, a couple months before, a couple months after, you were in the 7s, and you might have been in the higher 7s and maybe even an 8.
Yeah.
You might have even had an 8 back then because people were getting like 815, 805 back then.
Yep.
This could be huge savings for you because you might have a 2-point drop. So anybody that did something in 2023, you should be thinking, hey, let me just call Mike and see
At least look
if
at
it makes sense or not.
Yep.
Just like we're doing with Ross. People are saving so much with Ross right now for homeowners insurance and actually car insurance now.
Well, Brightway Insurance Juno Beach has set a goal to save a lot of money for their clients this year.
I think he said 300 or 500,000.
I thought it was 300 too. Was it
300.
I thought it was 5.
Okay, we'll go with
Okay.
5.
Yeah.
Well, let's go for. We're going to make them do 5. We're going to make it. We're going to make him do 8 million, right?
Yeah.
I'm joking. So what Ross is doing right now, his goal is to save customers that call him $500,000 off of what they're paying now. Not each person,
Right.
collectively.
He's going to be paying you.
Yeah, he's
Right.
going to pay you $500,000. You give him a call.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's trying to save $500,000 for his customers. Pretty lofty goal. Want to help him with that. So anybody that's thinking that they need to get an insurance quote, give us a call. But also for refi, you got to give us a call to get to Mike. And the reason why you're doing that, as Mike said, is because you can trust him because he's not going to tell you to do a loan that doesn't make sense for you. And if he thinks it's on the edge, he's going to have a conversation with you about it and not just try to sway you to do it because it's good for him and his income.
Well, like he said, it's about your goals. So if your goal is to pay less a month, or your goal is to maybe you're trying to pay off debt. Like not every refi is a cash out refi. Sometimes it's just about resetting your rate that you're paying.
Mm-hmm.
So but what's your goal? What are you trying to accomplish with your refi? And then you sit down with Mike, or you get on the phone more realistically. You have this conversation. It's probably going to be 15 minutes, I'm guessing, maybe upwards to a half an hour, depending on how in depth this is going to be required.
Yep.
And then you're off and running. But it's about your goal. You explain the goal, and then Mike lays out how the path looks.
Sometimes I'm helping them just understand what the goal is.
Right.
Sometimes it's like, oh, rates, refi. And it's like, well, no, what are we trying to achieve with this? And
Right.
usually it's about saving money, but there's save money now. There's save money over the long term. Maybe there's debt consolidation. You're saving money that way, but like kind of on from a budget perspective, monthly payment budget. So it's not a ton. It's not super complicated.
Nope.
But it is worth at least talking to a professional who thinks about it in those ways and can help you kind of advise you. What I could just give you what I think. Like, here's what I would do if I were in your shoes. Yes, it makes sense. Or no, it doesn't make sense right now unless you're really like struggling from a payment perspective. Like you just
Right.
need to clear up some
Sometimes-
space. So It's just
sometimes it makes sense when it doesn't always make 100%.
not the best financial decision from the long term, but maybe it just helps you out of a tough spot, or
Right.
maybe this could like cash out. I want to remodel my house. Like, what are my options? Home equity or refinance or something. So whatever. We just talk through all that stuff.
And
It's just,
sometimes
it's a consultation.
Sometimes the best answer is home equity,
Sometimes
right?
the best
And
answer
you're
is
like,
home equity.
I don't know if I would refi this. I think you might look at this avenue, and that's actually a product that you probably don't even offer, right?
So I do have home equity options, but they're not ideal. So if you're like, unless you have a strange situation, I would encourage you to talk to probably a local credit union or national credit union, something like that. I had a good buddy of mine from jiu-jitsu call up and say, "Hey, Mike, I'm looking at a home equity." I said, "Well, talk to this place first." And I checked in with it. He's like, "Yeah, we're rolling. Like it's going to be, we're closing, in 2 weeks or something."
And
So,
that's Mike.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Right,
one of my
that's
one of my buddies, right?
Yeah.
Like one of my friends. So
Yeah.
He did that for
Yeah.
us many years ago.
Yep.
We looked into it, and
Yep.
the best option for us at the time was a home equity line of credit that you
Versus-
steered us
yeah.
into that direction
Yep.
versus using you. And
Yep.
And we're
Yep.
not doing that just because they're on the radio show and they're with us in the podcast and everything. This is what we do every
Every
day. We
day.
help everybody. We help everybody the same way every day and try to get to it. The other thing I'm wondering is, we have a lot of people listening on the show right now and everything, watching the show. What do you think? Do you think that if the interest rates get down to 5.99 or lower, do you think that's going to make a big difference in getting people to decide that they're going to start applying for loans and buy a house? Do you think that is going to be the pivot that's going to wake up the market a little bit more? Or do you think that it isn't enough yet because the cost of affordability for housing is still keeping people on the sidelines? I'd love to hear what you say. So put a comment on Facebook and YouTube. We'd love to see what your comments are.
Yeah, do that. It's probably a real blend of all of the above. I think you'll probably have some folks that are like, I'm just waiting for that number. And that might be because they've already talked to Mike and they know like they're so close. Maybe the mentality is enough to get people to pick up the phone. The sad part is they're probably going to learn like, well, you could have done this a long time ago if you wanted to. 'Cause
Yeah,
you've
or-
been in position.
Even sadder is like, maybe it does make sense and you've been thinking about it, but you never like did anything, and then all of a sudden you can't do it for some reason.
Yeah, even worse. That's
right?
the worst.
It's
case
like, so
scenario.
if you don't know if you're even able to do it, it's a good time to talk, so we can kind of get things lined up. You have some time to put things in place if you need to. Also, I develop, in a conversation, I can tell somebody who's looking at a refinance, like, listen, this isn't going to achieve your goal right now, but once we get here and watch these rates, like I tell people all the time, look at the chart that we look at on the show, right? Watch Freddie's PMMS, the primary mortgage market survey. That is a chart we look at. We just basically takes the temperature of the mortgage market. So every week they come out with a number. We talk about it. Every Thursday they come out with this number. That's the 6.01 Jim is talking about. You can simply watch that chart and I'll say like, okay, when this is down towards 5.5, that's when we're pulling the trigger. Like that's when you call me again, or that's when I call you. When it gets down to 5, like that's when. So I can help kind of formulate when is it going to make sense,
Right.
So yeah, do that all the time.
And then we also will
We'll
also put you on a mortgage interest alert system, so that if you're waiting for a certain mortgage rate,
We
when
can
it
reach
hits
out to
that,
you. Yeah.
we automatically reach out to you and say, hey, it might be time to give us a call. Just to give you an idea, the last time we were close to the 6.01 was September 15th, 2022. And in that week, we were at 6.02. Now, when we were in that phase where we were 6.02, this is going from our big increase. So we started at like 2.65 in 2021, January 2021. And then from January 21 to September 2022, it basically was almost a straight line up, just going up and up and up from 265 all the way to 6. Actually, we got all the way to 6.95. No, 7.08. We went from 265, almost a straight line, to 7.08. Then we had a dip and it bounced around a little bit. Then we got up to 7.79 a year later in 2023.
Huh.
And then it took us from November 2023 at 7.79. It took us all that time to get back down to where we are now. And that only takes us to September 2022. So the interest rates are historically low over 30 years. It's historically low because 7 to 8%. I used to say 7 to 9, but they used to do 40 years. Now they do 30. So 6 to 7% is kind of like the rate that you would see, and we're in those rates now. So we'll have to see how it's going to go with the mortgage rates. Really love to hear what people think. Applications aren't as hot as I think people who were expecting to be, but there are a lot of people out there buying now, or at least out there applying. And I think the reason why they're doing that, it is not about it's a better time to afford a home. It's not that the interest rates are better or not better. It's not about whether prices are going down or up. Almost everybody I'm working with are doing it because they had pent up demand. They were in a house they didn't want to be in anymore. They just can't take it anymore. They've been waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like, you know what? 2026 is the year. And I don't know why, but it's like this watershed moment, at least right now, where all of a sudden, January 1st, the phone started ringing. And everybody was like, I want to sell my house. I want to buy my house. It's time I want to sell my house and buy a new house, right? There are all kinds of things going on out there, but it's all pent up demand. It isn't based on what's happening in the market. And I just want to throw it out one more time. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. You know how everybody was saying date the rate, marry the house, date the rate, and all that stuff and all those terms? You know what my favorite saying is right now? Your house is not a stock market. What were you going to say, Mike?
The Maui Wowie.
The Maui Wowie, the Noe Loe.
And
the Noe Loe.
All right, what is this phrase?
It is not. I'm sorry.
You were going to say
the thing is that your house is not the stock market, and if you shouldn't be treating your living situation as a stock market. It's a place where you live, you raise your family if you have one. It's a place where you go home and it's your private oasis. In that you have a piece of Americana, and over time, because we're blessed to be in this country, over time you're going to see appreciation. It's almost immutable that you're going to get appreciation over time in Florida. Is it going to be every year appreciation? No, you're going to have some down years. That's what happens. But as long as you're not selling in that time, who the heck cares?
Or you don't have to sell.
And you don't have to sell.
Yeah.
And, here's another example. Noel, who's selling his townhome right now to buy a new home. When he came to us, I think it was 2021 to buy the townhome. He wasn't really crazy about buying the townhome. He wanted a different type of property, but he knew he wanted to buy. He bought. He sacrificed by not getting exactly what he wanted, but it was with what he could afford. That house now is worth $150,000 more than he paid in 2021. Think about that.
Yeah.
And he put down FHA financing to buy that house, if I'm not mistaken. So he might have had, because he got down payment assistance, he might have had $12,000 of his own money into that house to move into it. And now he's walking away with when we sell it, he'll be walking away with $80,000 plus in his pocket that he can use to put down payment on his new home. So instead of putting $12,000 on the new home, he could put $80,000 on the new home, which can reduce the amount of loan that he's borrowing to reduce the mortgage payment. He could take some of it to buy down the loan, buy down the interest rate. He has so much flexibility. Why is he in that situation?
Because he bought.
Because everybody in 2021 were telling him, don't buy. It's too crazy. The interest rates were so low at that point. Everybody was, we had total bid wars, and people were like,
difficult for buyers.
No appraised value, no inspection. I'll pay above a price. I don't care. I'm just going to elbow everybody out. So everybody's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Well, now he has 10 times the amount of money for his down payment than he did when he first walked into that house.
And a place to live over those years.
And he lived there and enjoyed it. He raised a family there and he had fun there. And, and he enjoyed it. He fixed it up. He enjoyed that house. Yeah. So please don't get overcomplicated. People in Florida treat housing like stocks. And if you're in Wyoming or Kansas or Nebraska or Iowa, they don't think about it that way. They don't talk about real estate the way that Florida does. Like Florida, Arizona, Texas, California, probably New York. All of those ones are like,
it's a rapid wealth making enterprise.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, well, no, this is where you're going to live. Like this is your house. Right.
And
I think enough people think about it as a house too, Jim. I mean, it's easy for us to get like caught up in that rat race of what's, we talk about it as part of our professional lives and everything, but I think most of the people I'm talking, they are looking for that house. And it's like, can I get a situation that is going to work for me?
Right.
And that's been the challenge. And I think the pent up demand is because of that challenge, Jim, not necessarily like when's the market going to be great from an investment perspective. It's just like, when am I going to be able to find something that's better than what I got at a reasonable, number?
Right.
And that's the situation that Noel found himself in. And his life situation has changed. A lot of people you talked about, they bought that home, they raised their kids, and now they're ready to take the next step, right?
Sure.
Kids are off and doing their thing. Maybe they're helping their kids buy homes and stuff. So we got can't lose sight of that. That's who we work with all the time. That's clients we're dealing with.
Yep. Wanted to thank Magali. She's always a big time fan of her show on YouTube.
Shout out.
She's bragging. She said, we bought our house in 2017. I won't tell you the amount of appreciation we have now, with a big smiley face. So I know she's doing good.
Listen, Magali, we're good at this. We could guess. We could almost guess the percentage of appreciation you had since 2017.
2017.
You've done very well, my dear.
Yes, she did well. So that's really good thing. So keep an eye out on those interest rates. They are staying flat or going down slightly, just a little tiny bit, but they're not going up right now. So that's a good thing. So take advantage, because let me tell you the last thing, Mr. and Mrs. Buyers or Ms. Buyers, okay? The thing that you need to know is that once people start waking up that the interest rates are going to get better, that's the worst time to get into the market, because you're going to be competing with everybody else. Be the smart person and take advantage of the market as it's happening live, just like we're doing with insurance. We've been telling people for way before the headlines were saying it, you can get probably get a discount on your insurance plan. Give us a call. It's free. And we are getting people with that all the time.
Oh, it's so easy too. It's frustrating that not everybody should be checking. If you haven't checked in like a year, do it. Just do it.
Exactly.
I mean, the fact that Ross has set a goal, like, hey, I'm going to be tracking and I really want to keep track of how much money we're saving. The fact that he's even doing that should be a good indicator to people that there are savings out there to be had.
That's right.
And it's really, you call and have a conversation and maybe give them some details.
We had one of our listeners about a month ago, one of our listeners who didn't end up using Ross because they had their own people, but took Ross's advice from the show and saved themselves $4,000 a year on their insurance policy. $4,000 just from listening to our show. I mean, that's crazy. What kind of value can you get on that, right? Is that kind of crazy?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk about a trend. So this whole Florida migration thing, I'm so tired. And this is coming. A lot of people from up north tell me this. Oh, everybody's moving down here. Before that mayoral election, people were moving down here like crazy during COVID, right?
Exodus.
Right. So we had this mass exodus, or it isn't an exodus when they come here. I forget.
Exodus from their place to here.
What do you call the opposite of? What's the opposite of exodus when they're coming in?
Influx.
Thank you. That would be a good one.
Good one.
Good
nice
one,
pull.
Johnny.
Nice pull. I was going to say incudus.
So
influx. Love it.
So it's very interesting. Wait, let me pull up. Where is it? Hold on here.
Yeah, I'm glad these numbers are leveling off, because we're full. We're pretty full down here in Florida, at least in South Florida. We're good.
Yeah.
We got enough folks down here.
Sure?
Yeah, really sure. I'm really sure.
We need more houses.
We do, for sure.
Already.
Yeah, well, if you've just done any driving over the last, I don't care.
I try to avoid
decade.
that. Try to avoid that, Johnny.
My gosh, we are full.
Oh, here it is.
Are you having to drive a lot? You got a daily commute that's around rush hour hours?
Where I live, and I've lived there a long time, the volume of traffic that comes from west has been, it's quadrupled. It's quadrupled in the time I lived in this house.
There's a reason for that, Johnny. You're in a desirable zone.
I understand. Yeah. I do understand that, but it's we're pretty full. There's a lot of folks.
Well, listen, when you find that next house for you and you go to sell, that's going to be a good thing.
Oh yeah. No, I'm excited about it, but hey, I'm glad we're plummeting down this list of the.
Drive out to West Broward, and you're going to find out what Palm Beach is going to look like full, because we got a long way to go. Probably 10 years out, Western Palm Beach County is going to look like Weston in Broward County, and I'm not looking forward to that. I don't know. I was going to say, hopefully I'm not going to be around, but that's only 10 years, so I want to be around. I want to be around for that. Yeah.
I mean, I knew you were old.
So,
Are you that old?
Right?
As long as they plan for it a little bit better, though, because the growth was never really planned for it. There's just the extra roads don't exist. The impact fees haven't been utilized.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, here
So-
I got an idea. Let's cut the budget for all the municipalities for that type of stuff.
That
Well,
should help
Let's cut
things.
it massively.
I'm hoping we're going to get into that today a little bit, but
Oh.
if not, we'll talk about it next week. But first, let's talk about migration first. So, everybody, during COVID, we had this huge influx of people from coming all over the country, coming down here to live because they could do remote work.
Sure.
So the peak of that was in 2022. And according to the U.S. Census Bureau, there were 310,892 people net that moved to Florida compared to people leaving Florida. That was one of our biggest years ever. What do you think happened in 2025? So if we had 310,000 people net come here, what do you think we had last year come to Florida?
100,000.
Now, you got to remember, we had that big Mondami thing with the Mondami Memorial thing, and everybody was losing their religion over that. So there was a lot of talk about people living.
You say it was 300,000 net positive?
310,892 in 2022. So what was 2025?
Well, you're bringing it up as if it's stopped. So did it go completely the other way? Did we have a reversal?
22,000 net.
22,000
from 310
positive?
310, 22,000 positive net.
Wow.
Big
Wow,
difference.
100,000.
93% migration decrease,
Bit of an overshoot.
right?
Or
So-
more people left?
Yeah,
Well,
that could be too.
that's happening. That's definitely happened because I've been saying that for a long time.
I don't feel like they've left. I just
No,
I
they're
don't think
leaving.
it's-
They're
but it
leaving
was-
because we have so many people that listen to this show that are calling me up and been listening 10, 12 years now. It's like, it's time for me, fork in it. I put a fork in it. I said fork. Okay. We're, moving North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. I'm moving
Tennessee.
back home
Yep.
to Pennsylvania,
Yep.
wherever they want to move to. So a lot of people are moving out of the area. They're complaining about cost of living. Sometimes it's just that they're ailing and they need to be closer to relatives. They're older. That's happening. Some of them want to be closer to grandkids, young grandkids, and they don't want to miss out, which is awesome.
I get that.
So
yeah.
there's a million different reasons why people are leaving, but there is a big exodus leaving Florida, and people aren't going to get that. It's all about affordability because that's what everybody. Well, I would say like 85% of it's affordability. The other 15% is I'm moving for the grandkids. I'm moving because I don't feel well. My kids want me to be closer to them, that kind of stuff. But the great majority of them are moving for affordability. I can't afford, with what I get paid, I can't afford my increase in taxes, my increase in insurance. I just can't afford it. I'm afraid what's going to happen in the future. I got to get out of here.
Like I want to buy a home and there's just not affordable homes in my price point. So I got to go somewhere
That
else.
happens
Yeah,
too.
sure.
Yeah. So so this whole idea that we were going to see this big, tremendous surge because they were upset with that mayor that moved there. I didn't really keep on the news on that one because it doesn't affect me that much, being in Florida. But everybody was projecting how bad it was going to be. Maybe it'll happen, but it isn't happening now.
Yeah.
Now, there is a little trend within this trend. So while there's way less people coming here than over the last couple of years, and it stopped pretty quickly, let me just go over the other years between 2022 and this year. So the first year we had 310,000 in 2022. Then in 2023, it dropped to 183,000. Then in 2024, it dropped to 58,000. That's the last time I talked about this because I remember the 58,000 net and saying that isn't a lot of people when you got 20-something million in the state. 58,000 net is not a big increase. And now we're down to 22,000. But those 22,000 net, they're all wealthy. And they're all moving to the Miami area. So all of these are techie people. And what they're finding out is they actually did income based on who's coming down here. And that was kind of interesting.
Huh.
Hold
But
on.
we know we got the big money moving into like West Palm.
Tech
East.
South.
Yeah.
Tech South. That's
Palm
what's
Beach,
happening. Yep.
Jupiter, those islands, but that's got to be a small, like percentage wise. It's got to be small.
They're saying that of those 22,000 net that came here, they came from New York, Texas, Georgia, California, and New Jersey, were the primary sources of interstate job movers to Miami in 2024. In 2024, we didn't have that many. It was only 58,000 people that year.
I thought it went from 300 to 22 over 1 year, but that was over a 4-year span.
2022 through 2025, right? So we went
Kind of
from
a slow
310
burn.
in 2022 to 22,000 in 2025.
That could simply be like politically motivated, Johnny, right? Because like, yeah, we're not moving to Florida because we have a red state Republican governor, and that might dissuade people.
Yeah, or persuade people too.
Or persuade,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
could be easily
I'm sure it's
that
a
way
factor.
too.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
of
out of the handful of people that I know of that left here of our friends, the overwhelming majority of their reason for leaving was the weather. The
Oh,
heat.
Oh,
It's too hot, too
the
much.
heat.
you're right, Jimmy. I have heard of that too. That
Yeah.
people complain they can't take the
So
heat
they go
anymore.
to Georgia, they go to North Carolina, and now they get a little taste of that winter, and they enjoy that a little bit. Well, I mean, it's just one of the many factors. Is all
Yep.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep. Now in New York, and this is all 2024 stats when we had 58,000 total net in the state. New York was the biggest group of that. 13.8% moved into that Miami area. Now they say the Miami metro area. If that's a true Miami metro area, that includes Broward and Palm, not just Miami, just so you know.
Oh.
But 13.8% of them, or 7,000 of the people that net moved here, were from New York. Texas was second with 9.4%. Georgia was third. So people are coming from Georgia here, just like we're moving up there. I think that's
that could be
interesting.
for employment opportunities, right?
This is all about job movers, people moving for jobs. Okay. California was the next state. And New Jersey was in the top 5. So that's the 5 places that people are moving here from those states to Florida for jobs. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is we still have a very strong international move. So a lot of people, and I thought that was interesting because they say it's still strong. I thought with all the borders shut down and everything, less people would want to come here. But they're still saying we have a very strong Central and South America influx coming in, and to a certain extent, Europeans. And they're also saying that the average person, this is interesting, the people moving into Florida, and this is where our affordability problem comes in. The typical transplant who relocated to the Miami metro area from another state for work, so when they move for a job, their average income was $101,000 a year in 2024. But the average person that lives here that isn't moving, just their average income was only $62,000 a year.
Oh.
So there's a $40,000 difference in the income. So we're bringing in higher paying job people into the area, which is just reinforcing what I've been saying now for 2 years, that we're going to become like Cape Cod area, where all the wealthy people are going to live around the coast and hugging around the coast as much as they could afford. It's going to be super wealthy people, comparatively speaking. And then all the service workers to service all those people, they're all going to be in the central part of the state, and they're going to be commuting long distances to get to the work. That's what's going to
jobs.
Wait,
That's
are you
what's
saying
happening.
we should be buying up real estate in the middle of the state?
Well, actually, people are already doing that.
Do you have any lots for sale, Jim?
People are already doing that. If you go out to Palm Bay, that is one of the hottest areas for income, for affordability right now. You can get a home like $150,000 less in Palm Bay. And there's a whole little city out there that Broward, we talked about this, I think about 18 months, 2 years ago, where there's an area in Palm Bay where they're building new construction out there. And people from Broward are moving there and then commuting to their jobs.
Palm Bay?
Yes. And we had one
That's a
person.
drive.
We had one person that
wow.
wanted to do that, and we got him over to Mike, and we couldn't get the loan because the distance was too far. Do you remember that? It was a correctional officer who worked in Broward.
The
but
commute was
too far.
Yeah.
The lender's like, no, we're not letting you buy a house here as your primary residence if you work over there. Her argument was she was only working 4 days a week because of her hours.
Yeah.
It was like 10 4-hour days. So she was like, well, I'm only going to be there half the time, and the other half I'm going to live up here.
I mean, listen, if that's a story, usually you can make sense of it. I forget the specific circumstance, but that's actually something people don't think about too much. Is like, hey, I'm relocating from one state to another or one city to another. My first question is like, is your income coming with you? Right? You keep the same job? Are you transferring? Like, are you remote worker now? And if it's not, if it's like, well, I need to find something once I get there, then that complicates your ability to get a loan.
Yeah.
I think they just need to, like, we need some of these promises that we had from the past, the like individual planes, you know, the jet packs and things like that will make that type of commute either fun or more possible or faster. Like, we just need that.
You know
Flying
that
cars.
I think
flying
it's
cars.
Japan. They have them now. Japan has flying 2-person drones now. So the way it works is it looks like a box truck, and the drone, the 2-person drone, is like the box part of it.
It looks like a box truck.
Yeah, and you drive it to where you want to turn on you drive the thing, and then when you're ready to do the
flying?
drone, the box part of it comes apart. It separates from the car. It
Mhm.
turns into a drone. It's a 2-person drone. You go driving around, and then you come back. It lands, and then it connects back to the truck.
I love it.
And I think it was only. When I say only, you're going to understand why I'm saying it's only. I think it was like less than $5 million for this thing or something.
That's
And
it?
I was thinking all the billionaires, that's like a Tic Tac to them, like buying a box of Tic Tacs, right?
gotta
And they
make me
could
choke.
5 million or whatever, right? It's like nothing, you know.
I think I did see some commercial for air taxi service.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yes,
There's a
I've seen
company
that
that's like,
too. Yeah.
I don't know if they're rolling it out or they're just like, we're
Yeah.
going to be the ones to roll it out.
Oh,
So,
air taxi.
So you only need $5 million, and then you commute anywhere you want. But there's a lot of regulations. They're saying there's going to be a lot of regulations that happen before that could become really commercial. But who knows? Maybe we
I'd
won't
be like,
need
you
to
got to
do-
catch me first.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right. So yeah, you have those Sikorsky helicopters chasing the little
Yeah.
drones around and everything, right? So here's the other thing, though. They are saying in this article about the migration that the trend is going to continue, and they think that the trend of wealthy people is going to come down here. That's not going to stop, because they said that the 2 reasons why people are moving from New York to California, from New York and California to Miami, the Miami area,
taxes, duh.
is all about taxes and government
Duh.
policies, right? So they're like the high earning people. It's like, we don't want these tax bills. We're out of here, right? I think that's a trend that's probably going to stick for a while.
I think a lot of us are done. I'm ready. If you guys are ready, I think this is the year we don't pay our taxes, like collectively, all of
Yeah.
us. You see how they're just spending it? Like,
Ooh.
hey, maybe
So
we
let's-
just decide we're not paying it
So
anymore.
we only got like 3 minutes, right? We have about 3 minutes.
About 3.
What were the
Let me-
states
let me
where
talk to
people
you.
are going?
Where they're going?
Yeah, like you
They're
said,
going
we
to
were 7%.
Georgia. They're going to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Texas, and Florida. Is where they're going. Is the biggest areas that they're going to. The people leaving. But let me go into this, Johnny. We're going to talk about it more next week. Listen to this. When it comes to taxes, the Tax Watch Group, Florida Tax Watch Group, which is kind of a conservative think tank, it's a nonprofit group, and they really don't want that. They don't like taxes, and they fight every tax in Florida they can. And they put out all these think tanks. Listen to this. The cities with the highest growth rate in their taxes. Apopka, this is from 2014 to 2024. So in that 10 years, whose tax bill increased the most? Apopka, Florida, 372% over 10 years. St. Cloud, 294%. Northport, 293%. Port St. Lucie, number 4, 250% increases in taxes from 2014 to 2024 over the 10 years, right?
What was Palm Beach County? Just as a comparison.
It does. West Palm is 153%. Okay.
Over 10 years.
Yeah, Miami's 150%. Now per capita, Palm Beach per capita, how much people are paying per capita? Monroe County, 4,800. Palm Beach is number 4 with 3,700 a year, right? Miami-Dade's only 3,300 a year. Martin County, 3,600 a year. So even though that Central Florida has the highest tax increases, the per capita, what you're actually paying is really Southeast Florida has higher taxes.
Huh.
We're going to get into that in a little bit, because my big question is, when you have huge property increases year over year, why don't you reduce the tax rate commensurately so that people aren't paying more taxes just because the value of their house went up and not because you need the extra money? we should have the tax bill set for needing the extra money, not just getting extra for the tax bill. We're going
to get into that, evidently. We had a lot to get into, including some of the proposal for property taxes. That was
we need a whole show for that.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into it next week. Remember, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com, an amazing resource for you if you're buying a home, selling a home, stuck with a home, you don't know what to do, want to save some money on your property insurance. Maybe you're like, man, that Smart Start program sounds amazing. I got to call Mike Rauch. Anything that touches the world of real estate, we got a pros pro for you at FloridaTalkRealEstate.com on Facebook and YouTube. Share away. Thank you very much for doing all that and so much more. Mike Rauch, have a great weekend.
Yes, you too. Thanks, everybody.
The mortgage guy from the mortgage firm, Jim DiPaola with the Florida Home Pros team, Keller Williams Innovations. Have a great weekend.
I'm going to go eat some pizza.
Enjoy the pizza.
I am.
Yeah, eat the crust too. Jimothy, you're the man.
You the man as well. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, James. Thank you, Michael. Have a
Thank
great
you, sir.
weekend.
Appreciate you all being with us. We'll do it again next Saturday. 2 hours of infotainment, Florida Talk Real Estate. I invite you to stick around. Locker Room is going to squeeze out a sports show. We'll do that in about 7 minutes from now. Have a great weekend. We'll see you at Florida Talk Real Estate next Saturday right here on Real Radio.